What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the patch notes for Season 6. It's coming out tonight. They weaved it back a little bit, moved it back. Normally it's tomorrow at like 10 a.m. Pacific time, but they moved it to 10 p.m. Pacific time. So that's going to be coming out tonight at 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Central time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, or 1 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, we got the patch notes here. We're going to be going through them. First up, we got Rampart, the new legend here. She brings a lot of cool stuff. We're going to be reading through the notes here. Her passive is called Modded Loader. She has increased magazine capacity and faster reloads when using the LMGs and the minigun. So I read that the minigun is going to have a really slow reload, so maybe she can reload it faster, which is going to be cool. She has the increased amount of shots before overheating on the L-Star. The L-Star, I love it a lot. A lot of people say they don't like it, but that's one of my go-to weapons. I like it, so definitely when I use Rampart, I'm going to be going for the L-Star. Her tactical is the amped cover. You know, she's able to place those walls, and it says here that she can have a max of 5 amped walls deployed at a time. So you're going to be able to just make a, you know, like a 5 wall around you and just completely shadow yourself in. You know, they can't shoot through, but you can shoot out. I don't know how well this is going to go. Now, one of the devs talked about how the best thing to use against it is grenades. So maybe we'll be packing a lot of grenades and throwing them at it, but I can see this being abused really easily. And her ultimate now is Sheila, the in-place minigun. She places a minigun that anyone can use. Enemies, teammates, anyone can use it. Has really high ammo capacity, but it says here a long reload time, so we don't know exactly how long that is, but hopefully, even though if it holds 100 bullets, hopefully it's long reload. And she can have 3 of those at one time, we know. Whether that's, you know, you got to let her ultimate build up each time, and every time she places one, it uses the ultimate. Or if it's like a caustic thing where you can throw 3 miniguns down at one time with one ultimate, you know. We're not going to know how that goes, but hopefully it's going to be just one at a time. And yeah, so that's really cool. That is the new Legend Rampart, and we're going to move on. Next thing on the list here is the new weapon, the Volt SMG. The Volt actually looks like a lot of fun from the trailer they put out. It looks like it's going to be awesome to use. The Devotion, I'm going to go ahead and let this be known. The Devotion's coming out of the care package, and it's also an energy weapon. So there's going to be a lot of energy weapons going around. This looks like it could be the new go-to SMG. So going to be looking for all that energy ammo. And yeah, it looks really good. It's, you know, the dev said that the bullets go faster, so there's not as much drop. There's less drag, and it's really good for hitting multiple people in a short window. You know, that's just what the patch notes say, but hopefully it's a good gun. We're going to be able to check it out tonight. The next thing on the list is crafting. It's a really cool concept. I don't know how it's going to go. They talk about how you're always going to know what's going to be in the crafting, you know, the daily, weekly, and always on there. I'm not sure about it yet. Looks like it can be cool. They have a whole extra, you know, read more on the crafting system at the bottom. You can just click on it, and there's a lot more to be read. In it, one thing that I'm afraid of is it says that things in the crafting system are not going to be found as floor loot. So it specifically said if you want the R301 and the Anvil receiver, it doesn't talk about in the patch notes, but I mean, maybe that's them saying it's Anvil receiver's coming back, I don't know. But you're going to have to get it from the crafting system. You can't find the gun on the floor. So Devotion's coming out of the care package. Say it's the daily item in the crafting system, you're not going to find it on the floor, which I'm not a fan of that. I don't really like that at all. I just don't know about it. We're going to see how it's done, but hopefully they've done it right, and it looks like it could be cool, but I'm kind of afraid for it, so I guess we'll see what happens. All right, this is another big one. I personally don't know about it either. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. It's kind of cool. The armor meta is changing the way armor works in the game. First off, every armor in the game is going to be EVO Armor. There's only going to be gold armor and EVO armor, so you're going to have to work it up, or you know, you can still find your white, blue, or purple armor on the ground, but it's pre-leveled EVO armor now. So when you pick it up, you continue to evolve it. Red armor is not on ground loot, so that's good. And gold armor is not part of the EVO, so if you find gold, it still will probably have some of those effects, like the shield cells and syringes are doubled, but you can only find it in rare locations as usual, and it does not get upgraded to red. So, and this is the cool thing where you land and say you can't find armor, and you get in a gunfight and you just lose, but they're changing that to where every player spawns now with level 0 EVO armor. So if you get in a gunfight right away and you do damage, you'll automatically level it up to the white armor. So you can take that all the way to red, or you can find another one, but you automatically start off with EVO armor. So any armor you find then is just upgraded EVO armor at that point. And they say it'll really help out in the early game, without people requiring to drop hot if they don't want to, which is good and bad, But I think having armor at the start, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it was, if you can find armor off the drop, awesome. If you can't, you got to know when to pick your battles, and you got to know when to run away. So I would dip out of there, find a gun, find some armor, and go back. Now you're just gonna have armor off the start to evolve. So I'm not really sure about it. It's a good change, but it could be a bad change. We're just gonna have to see how that goes. And the big difference that they talk about is all armor is coming down 25 health. So this means that purple and gold are only going to have 175, not 200. This is a really big change. If you got purple or gold armor, you're used to having that 200. And, if you had red EVO armor, you just kind of felt invincible because you had 225. Well, now you can no longer get to 225. It's only going to be 200. So they want to bring down the time to kill just a bit in order to better reward strategic positioning. But I don't know how that'll do. It was only 25. I don't know. We're so used to having 200 now if you find a purple shield. So, and the new damage requirements to level it up is to level up a 0 EVO to white is 50 damage, to blue is 125 damage, to purple is 250 damage, and the big one to get it to red is another 500 damage. So, and you got to keep in mind that the white is now only 25, blue is 50, purple is 75, and red is 100. So all these things combined, it's gonna take a bit of getting used to, but all in all, I think it could be a really good change. Up next is the hollow sprays. I think these are really fun, gonna be really cool to use. You wipe a squad or you get some kills, just throw down your hollow spray, and it's there for everyone else to see. Like, oh, the Wraith killed me, or the Bloodhound got some kills here. It's gonna be really cool. I think that's, especially if you got one person just completely destroying the entire lobby and you just see these things everywhere, that's going to be really cool. Next on the list was the new Battle Pass and the quests, just like Season 5 had the quests. You can do quests in the new Season 6. It talks about how the new Battle Pass, the G7 Supersonic, is animated or reactive somehow. We're going to have to see how that acts, but that seems kind of cool. And you can do the quests, like I said. So those things are going to be cool, just like in Season 5. We'll have to check those out. Alright, now this is the big one. We got Legends. This patch, it says that they're taking a look at the Recon class. A class built around information, gathering, should be powerful in a battle royale, knowing where the enemy is, and often the difference between life and death. There's 3 Legends in the Recon class, Crypto, Bloodhound, and Pathfinder. And they're talking about how one of them dominates the in-game performance, and they hint that it's Pathfinder, it's the robot. And what they say here is that they're mostly buffing Bloodhound, which is awesome, because as anyone has watched my videos know that I'm a Bloodhound main. I love Bloodhound. And Crypto's changes are a mixed bag. They found a bug, was giving a Crypto hidden advantage. What they say it was that sometimes you thought you were hitting the drone when you really weren't. So between the buffs to Bloodhound's ult and the new utility Crypto gains on his drone, we hope to see a more diverse field of Recon Legends in the game. So what they're changing is Pathfinder is they're giving all of the Recon Legends access to the survey beacon. So now Pathfinder, Bloodhound, and Crypto can all use the Storm survey beacon and find out where the circle is going to be. So that makes him a little less unique. So what they've done is every time Pathfinder scans the survey beacon, the total cooldown of his zipline is going to be reduced. So It starts from 120 seconds, and every time you scan a survey beacon, it goes down 10 seconds each time, up to 6 rings. So it can go from 120 seconds to 60. So that can be very helpful for late game when you're, needing a zip line. And instead of being in 120 seconds, it's only going to be 60, so you get a lot more zip lines. That's going to be kind of cool to check out. The next one is Bloodhound, and they say that he does a very clear role in Apex, how he's a tracker, and their performance leaves a lot to be desired. In this patch, they want to double down on his ultimate, so his ultimate's getting a really big buff. And Beast of the Hunt now gains even more duration when Bloodhound scores a knockdown or a kill with the ultimate about to run out. And during Beast of the Hunt, the Eye of the Allfaller, it now comes out twice as fast. So when you activate it, it just pings really quickly. And it has a much shorter cooldown while in Beast of the Hunt. So the numbers are Eye of the Allfaller cooldown during Beast of the Hunt goes down from 25 seconds to 6 seconds. You're going to be able to throw that out every 6 seconds while in Beast of the Hunt. And it also, instead of taking 1.8 seconds to activate, it only takes 1 second. 0.9 seconds to come out. So that's really awesome. He's going to be a lot more fun to play, especially using that Beast of the Hunt. I would always try to save it, but now I'm going to be activating that anytime I can, anytime we're going into a fight, and it's going to be awesome. And now the last Recon Legend is Crypto. They talk about how the information that he can gather for his drone is really high, but the fact that he has to switch to his drone leaves him vulnerable and often a great distance from his team because everyone else will just run off while he's in his drone. So they talk about because he has no abilities without his drone, we figure there's room for even more power when he's in the drone, which is kind of, it's good, give him a lot of power when he's in it, but he has none without it, so it's pretty good. The Surveillance drone, he can now activate respawn and survey beacons from the drone, and doing this is instant instead of requiring a prolonged use. So you could always grab banners with the drone, but now say your buddy dies in the storm, you can go get their banner and activate a respawn instantly when you're next to the respawn beacon. At least that's how I take it. This is I think Crypto is gonna become the meta. He's gonna be a really, really good person to play as, and I personally think that they're gearing him to be that. And they also made the Surveillance drone slightly more consistent to hit, but also doubled its hit points, so you can now hit it easier, but they doubled the health of it, so kind of evens out. The EMP drone will now slow teammates caught in the blast, even if they had no shield. So this means players who use Revenant's Death Totem will also be slowed, which is good. The numbers now, the Surveillance drone did have 30 HP, now it has 60, and the hitbox size went up about a third. It used to be a cube edge of length 16 to a cube of edge length of 24 now. So about a third of the size bigger, but it doubled the health, so pretty good. But I think Crypto's going to be really useful. He's gonna get a lot of playing time, I believe. As for the rest of the legends, they have a few changes to some others. They Revenant. What they really done is they didn't really nerf Revenant. They changed a combo that was being used where I don't know how other people were doing it, but the way I seen it was people would use Wraith with Revenant, and they would go use Wraith's ultimate to take the team in after activating the Death Totem. And as soon as you died, you would take that portal right back to the fight with your shield and everything, and you'd get back-to-back runs at the enemy team. So what they've done is for 2 seconds after being recalled by the Death Totem, you cannot use Wraith's Dimensional Rift. So I think it's kind of cool, give the team at least a little bit of time after killing them, but I don't know if this is going to completely change that because it's only 2 seconds, so you wait 2 seconds and you go through it, and I think it's going to be just the same. But the next one was Octane. You can now use the stem while healing, but the stem will not remove the slow you occur from healing, so I think you'll just get the regular Octane, move like a little bit faster while you're healing, but it won't fully remove it. And Loba, and talk about how she was popular, but she was struggling to keep up, so they're giving her a buff, and what they're doing is they're halving her ultimate cooldown from 3 minutes to 90 seconds. So you're going to be able to throw down that black market more, get a ton of loot more, maybe find some loot you don't know where it's hiding from you. So I think that's a good one. Next is Gibraltar. They increased the cooldown on his defensive bombardment, his ultimate, from 3 minutes to 4.5 minutes. In all honesty, I don't really have much trouble from his ultimate, so this nerf is, I don't really know what the use of it was. Maybe I wasn't playing any good Gibraltars, but I don't see that as needed. Bangalore's Rolling Thunder was decreased from 4.5 minutes to 3 minutes. I honestly got hit more with Bangalore's Rolling Thunder than I did Gibraltar's bombardment, so I don't really know. I thought they were good how they were, but Watson's interception pylon. The trophy system will now shoot down caustic barrels as they're in flight if they've landed inside the range of the trophy, which is cool, so it'll shoot them down. I don't know if that'll activate the gas or not. They haven't inflated, so it probably won't, which is cool. And let's move on. We're now moving on to the loot section. They have added extended energy mags and the turbocharger hop-up, which is cool. So I personally started playing Season 5, so hopefully they'll get to use a Havoc with the turbocharger now, see how that goes. They've updated. They've took the precision choke out of the loot pool, but they've integrated it into the triple take and Peacekeeper by default. So Peacekeeper's still in the care package, so it'll have it on anyways, but the triple take will have it on integrated. You won't have to find it no more, which is cool. You toggle it on and off, which is cool too, because I know it's really loud and it takes a bit to charge up, so if you don't want it on, you can turn it off. This is the big one, the Heartbreak. I like it, because we're going to see, I think, a lot more variety now. They put the R99 in a care package. Supply drop, whatever. They increased the damage from 11 to 12. They increased the magazine size to 32 and the ammo reserve to 160. But you're going to be seeing a lot less of these, which is nice because you play a game and that's what everyone wants is the R99. That was the meta. That was the best gun, and now we're going to have to figure out something different. But I'm happy about it. I know a lot of people are not going to like that. They're going to hate it, but I think it's going to be good for the long term of the game. And they took the Devotion out of supply drop and put it back into ground loot, which is cool because Devotion's really good too. So that may be one of the go-to guns now, but I think that's a really good change. Now for the fully kitted weapon swaps, they removed the Longbow DMR, the Hemlock, the Spitfire, the EVO 8, and the RE45. And they've added in the Devotion, the Mastiff, the Triple Take, the Flatline, and the Volt. So you're going to be seeing some gold weapons like that around. They removed the other ones, so hopefully we can find some of those. They updated the loot for sniper ammo. They increased the pickup from 8 to 12 and increased the stack size from 16 to 24. This is the bad part with all the new energy weapons coming around, that they've lowered the energy ammo pickup from 30 to 20. So this is, I don't know about that. It's going to be pretty bad with how many energy weapons are going to be floating around, so we'll see how it goes. Now to the weapon updates. The Hemlock, they reduced vertical recoil in the burst mod, which is good. So maybe if you can find like a gold barrel stabilizer, it's going to be like a laser, which is going to be awesome. They slightly reduced the recoil pattern on the second and third shot, so the burst kicks less. And the time between bursts has gone down about 0.04 seconds, so that's good. And the charge rifle will now use 2 ammo per shot, but they increased the mag size from 4 to 8, so it still gets 4 shots before you got to reload, but it now uses more sniper ammo. I personally don't know why this is a thing. Like, I didn't see the charge rifle being used that much or anything like that, so I don't know why that was changed. But the triple take gets a buff. It's got an increased fire rate now, 0.15 seconds, or 0.15. Increased the mag size from 5.678 to 6.789, added 1 bullet in each one of the mags, and it's got the built-in choke now, which is awesome, and it's, you can turn it off and on. The Peacekeeper now has the built-in choke hop-up, toggle it off and on. The Spitfire has improved recoil controllability. I thought they would be adding the graffiti mod, but it looks like they didn't do that. But they updated the Havoc with a new recoil pattern. The existing recoil pattern had very consistent or a constant horizontal movement. This means that it would be either really too difficult or too easy to control. So what they've done is they updated it to a new pattern, which is more consistent. So maybe we can learn it a bit better and it's not going to be so random. They increased the Mozambique clip size from 3 to 4. I always felt that, anytime I would get it, I would always hit someone with the 3 shots and just needed one more to kill them, and either I'd die or I'd lose them or something like that. So that's actually a decent change in my opinion. The P2020, it increased the damage from 13 to 15. And this one I seen, which I thought was a little needed, they decreased the hammer point damage multiplier from 2.7 to 2.35. And it says here in most scenarios that it will remain unchanged. So probably those super far distances where it'll be, you'll see the difference. And they increased the mag size starting from 10 to 13 to 15 to 18. It's now 12, 14, 16, 18. So the biggest mag is unchanged, but the rest of them are, so that's pretty good. A Sentinel only requires 1 shield cell to charge if you have the gold armor. So the gold armor helps out the Sentinel now, which is pretty cool because, it's the same thing with when you're charging the armor back up. It only takes 1 for 2, so that's pretty cool. This one, this breaks my heart. The Prowler got a slightly reduced in vertical recoil in burst mode, and they increased the horizontal recoil in auto mode. So we're gonna have to just see how big of an increase this is, but this breaks my heart. I love the Prowler, I love the auto mode, so we're just gonna see how that is. This is pretty cool. I like this. The supply drop weapons are now heirloom tier red to avoid the confusion with fully kitted guns, which remain gold. So now the supply drop weapons are going to be that red tint, which is awesome. I think that's pretty cool. The World's Edge received some performance improvements, around the tree, the dome, and skyhook, looking towards the center of the map, so that's going to perform better. And the alternations were made to the ring to prevent late zones from centering on unplayer terrain to reduce the predictability of the zone's pool. So now it'll be hopefully less where you can't get unplayable terrain. So that's pretty cool. More predictable circles. And there's also a lot of bug fixes down here. You guys can check those out. They just fixed a lot of stuff in here. But yeah, that's it for the patch notes. I'm super excited for this season. Super excited for this update to come out. I'm actually going to be streaming it later tonight. Said that in the intro, but I will check you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a good day, and let's play some Apex Season 6. Later.